Eala back to win Indian Wells by Tennis Gazette readers in surprise vote. Eala has surprisingly been back to win the title at Indian Wells, which gets underway shortly in California. Indian Wells qualifying has already started at Tennis Paradise, with a WTA main draw set to commence later this week. Eala is one of several star names in the field for the WTA 1000 tournament, which includes world number one Aryna Sabalenka. Tennis Gazette readers were asked to predict the winner of the event on TalkingPoints, with Eala emerging as a clear favorite. Eala back for surprise Indian Wells title. For more than 400 votes and counting, 61.2% of Tennis Gazette readers have backed Eala to win the title at Indian Wells. Australian Open champion Aryna Sabalenka holds 14.55% of the vote, followed by world number one Sabalenka on 7.85%. IGA Swiatek is next in line with almost 6% of the vote, with Coco Gauff falling just short of 5% as things stand. Dubai champion Jessica Pegula has earned under 4% of the vote, while other readers think a different name will emerge victorious. It would certainly be a massive shock if Eala were to lift the trophy, given both her ranking and the strength of the field. Perhaps more significantly, however, is that success in California would represent her very first WTA career title. Why Eala has a chance of Indian Wells success? There is indeed a big factor behind the surprise vote, and that is Eala's massive support from her fans from Philippines. She has also attracted supporters from further afield thanks to her exciting career trajectory and past efforts, but it's clear that her home fans have been making the biggest impact. And Eala deserves so much credit for drawing such crowds, with her tennis also deserving praise despite the clear pressure that is on her young shoulders. She's only 20 years old, but right now is burdened with the hopes of an entire nation. They are, however, simply enjoying her fantastic rise as opposed to putting huge pressure on her to clinch a title. Her followers would, of course, love to see that happen at Indian Wells, which won't be easy, but it cannot be ruled out. Eala just reached the quarterfinals of the Dubai Tennis Championships and will take confidence from that run, along with her 10-6 record for 2026. Times ASB Classic, semifinal. Times Australian Open, first round. Times Philippine Women's Open, quarterfinal. Times Abu Dhabi Open, quarterfinal. Times Qatar Open, round of 64. Times Dubai Tennis Championships, quarterfinal. Times she also has a phenomenal 2025 Miami Open run to spur her on, with the youngster having made it to the semifinals of last year's WTA 1000 tournament. Times, moreover, the pressure is definitely on the likes of Sabalenka and Rybakina, although a favorable draw would likely be welcomed with open arms by Eala, at least in the early stages. Times, but massively working in her favor, is a huge support, which may only be outperformed as she meets an American player in California. Times.